Let's hit the go live. I gotta do the audio check, and also we gotta let people gather. Gotta let people gather. Get the go live. Our audio sounds good. How is everybody? If you're just showing up right now, we're gonna stall for a second. We're gonna stall for a little bit. Just let some people gather. Don't want to start too quickly, and then everybody's like, "What the fuck? What's in this? Oh my god!" So I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. Just a couple little minutes. This literally, the patch just came out. I have no insider information. Everything I'm gonna see here is for the first time. I don't know what's coming up, and I want to scroll. I want to scroll. Okay, don't scroll. I want to scroll. Don't scroll. We're waiting for people for a little bit. New legendary hero. Oh. Stop scrolling. Okay, I'm gonna grab something to drink while people gather. Hello. I'll be going through the patch in just a second. I'm too excited, but we gotta give people a second. So if you're watching the stream later in the VOD, you might want to skip ahead a couple minutes. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna grab a drink, force myself to wait a second. It's our 9th stream in 8 days. 9? Okay, all right, that was 25 minutes, right? That was 25 minutes. I waited long enough. Everybody's here? Fuck it, we're going in. All right, before I start, for the people in VOD territory or the people that have never seen this channel before, I am a land battle aficionado. I am literally the best land battle player that has ever existed. I know this, you know this, we all know I'm fantastic. But this does come with some weaknesses, okay? I am not very good at domination. I'm just not very good at it, all right? I play campaign casually. I enjoy campaign quite a lot, but I do have fun with it. I don't really know the things. So if you are watching this and you are like, man, I hope they fixed the bug with Thorgrim Grudgebearer that on turn 5 the greenskins will always get peace with him. I'm probably not going to talk about that because I don't know it exists. All right, I don't know a lot of the campaign things. I play it very casually. All right, and as for my opinions on like meta stuff, if in domination mode, for example, let's say Chaos Warriors of Khorne are fucking broken and they for some reason have 18 capture weight, and I get to the Chaos Warriors of Khorne and they get a nerf and I'm upset about the nerf, I'm thinking about it from the land battle perspective. So like, know what bias you're getting here, all right? I don't really want complaints of, I went to the land battle guy's channel and he was talking about land battles like a fucking cuck. It's like, yeah, I'm that guy. I'm going to be talking about land battles. It's my bias and it's what I know. All right, let's go. Let's do this. I have a thing. Okay, Boojilicious is typing to me, but I'll deal with that later. He's talking to me about Dark Souls 3. Okay, patch notes 3.1.0. Check the forecast, folks. 3.1 is here. Rain down a new suite of quality of life fixes, various tweaks, and continued support for Warhammer 3, as well as some new content to sink your teeth into. Honestly, I'm surprised we're getting new content already. They mentioned a legendary hero or something, but like, I'm kind of surprised. Especially with 3 DLCs in the next year. I'm surprised they're already dishing out more content. So like, CA fucks some stuff up, for sure. They do. But this is like, the tone they've taken since the release of the Chaos Dwarves has honestly been like pretty nice. You know, for people that were disappointed like me with the Warhammer 3 launch, like they've been really forward with like, we're gonna make a bunch of content, we're not abandoning this game, all this stuff. And it's like, you might be like, it's the minimum they can do. Man, if you see a lot of games out there right now, the minimum they can do is looking pretty fucking nice, because there's a lot of games that are like, we got your money, fuck you, nerd, and they leave. All right. New legendary hero arrives, requires a CA count, doesn't mention who. Bretonnia is getting a bit of a rework. The Great Drill of Hashit will strike in a new Chaos Dwarf endgame crisis for Mortal Empires, the Will of Hashit. Okay, beef up lower tiers of infantry with 4th regiments renown. Yes! Ah! Finally, a regiment of renown for the new factions that isn't an elite unit. Like, elite units are cool, but when all your regiments of renown are elite units, it's really fucking hard to use them in multiplayer, right? Like, Sigmar's Sons for the Empire, shit's in, like, every Empire game. It slaps. Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers are pretty good when you have the money for them. The Tithe, honestly, has been showing up more, so, like, lower tier regiments of renown are much more common to see in games. Fucking hyped to see that shit. Alright, let's go. Update 3.0, skip through all that stuff. New legendary hero. Who, may you ask? The thing is, we don't want to spoil the surprise just yet. Oh, you fucks! Instead, we'll suggest you tune into the Warhammer Skulls event at 1700 BST today, hosted by Games Workshop over on Twitch. Okay, so apparently we don't get to know who that is yet. Chaos Dwarfs seek to expand their empire. Legion to Dizawi's are matched with impunity. The only way to halt the crisis. Okay, so there's a new endgame crisis, and apparently you have to take Zarnagrund, otherwise it'll keep going. Regiments are down. Bandits of the Silver Road, peasant archers. Huh. They have a fearsome reputation at home in the West. They've been hired to do the bidding of their dragon rulers, despite their indiscriminate pillaging. Okay, it doesn't say what they do. Oh, there it is, dev note. Armed with a buckler shield. So they're shielded peasant archers with flaming missile attacks and vanguard. And they give weakness to fire. Jesus Christ. There's a lot of weakness to fire going on right now. That's kind of funny. Oh, that is sick as fuck. Hounds of the Hunt. Flesh Hound ROR. Khorne's gonna love that. They take Flesh Hounds every goddamn day. They have the dampen contact effect, which allows them to temporarily remove magic attacks. Oh, what the fuck? That's so good. That is so good. So their physical resist is unstoppable. Hounds of the Blood Hunt, sorry. Watchmen of the Night, Armored Kossars. Okay, cool. Armored Kossars are a very good unit. They lose their shields. They get bonus versus infantry and frostbite. Interesting. The existence of Zarina's secret police is no secret, for the Watchmen ranks are not just spies who root out oppositions to her rule, but the toughest of her retinue. The Watchmen drop the pistols, so they have no ranged attack. Oh. They also have Rabble Rouse for ITP aura. Okay, that's neat. That's neat. The Frolickers Bubonic, Nurglings ROR. They have melee damage reflection plus leadership if in melee. So they kind of get the squig thing. Kind of. These Nurglings dropped Cloud of Flies ability in favor of a new ability called Blisterback. Oh, so they have less melee defense. Like, they don't have the Cloud of Flies melee defense. Interesting. The lack of Cloud of Flies helps the unit get hit more often, which in turn triggers the damage reflection more often. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We'll see how it goes in practice. The Princes of Perfection, devoted marauders of Slaanesh with spears. They're the staunchest line of spears that Slaanesh has access to with perfect vigor and subperfect musk. They are a perfect addition to Slaanesh's Advil line. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's a bunch of mini Sigvalds. That's fun. Chronic Abomination, Blue Horrors of Zinch. They look like, I don't mean sick as in, bro, that's sick as fuck. Like, they look actually sick. Like, they might need a doctor. What was that? That's a 55 melee attack, 49 melee defense, 53 weapon strength buzzsaw unit. Are you talking about the Armored Kossars? Yeah, they are. They actually have a ton of stats. Anyway, these Blue Horrors, defense is their best offense, emitting chromatic barrier surrender, incoming attacks. Feudal, what? They have more ammo and a powerful barrier replenishment ability that triggers anytime a spell is cast on the battlefield by an enemy or friendly spellcaster. Ah, okay, so if you cast any spells, these guys will get their barriers back. That's kind of brutal. Boglars of the Mad Marshes. Noblars. That's a fun name. These toad Noblars, which are much debated myth, multiply at the merest contact with water. Boglars come with poison, but also have the uncanny ability to regenerate entities when standing in water. Huh. Water-linked regeneration. That's kind of cool. Like, it's going to be very hard to pull off in multiplayer, but it's like a cool thing for campaign, for sure. Cool. Bretonnia updates. The campaign. Damsels get a benefit from the Troths feature, like they should. Final Vow or Troth in the series grants permanent access to the Blessing of the Lady for the character who obtains it. Attributes and ability changes. Blessing of the Lady now provides ward save instead of physical resist. Ooh, fuck. Okay, so that's not campaign, that's in general. Ward save on a lot of Bretonnian knights. That's kind of fucked. I'm figuring out how to feel about this, because that's kind of nice. When Fatabuna like hits your knights, they won't get as fucked up, but like Bretonnia is gonna be so strong, man. Okay. And then certain units, mostly knights and non-Grail Knight characters, can opt into taking the Blessing of the Lady for 200 gold. That's kind of cool. Grail Knights already have the Blessing Lady equipped. But man, that's going to make Bretonnia tanky as fuck. They need to have nerfed healing this patch. If they're going to give Bretonnia, who has a lot of healing, fucking, like, almost army-wide ward save. Because, like, okay, the peasants don't get ward save, but who gives a shit about the peasants? Like, not to be a dick, but... The interplay between Bretonnia Knights and now is represented by the two new attributes, Knight and Peasant. All Knight characters have the new Knight attribute. They do not take leadership penalties if peasants route nearby. The peasants have the Peasant attribute, which has no inherent gameplay effects but is used for ability and attribute targeting purposes. Knights Errant have received a new passive ability, Impetuous. When Knights Errant are charging, any friendly unit within 35 meters becomes immune to psychology for 30 seconds. Dude, they're just chucking the book at Bretonnia. They're like, take this, and this, and this. That's wild. That is actually wild. Okay. Bretonnia might be a fucking problem. Because they were already pretty strong after the Grail Guardians buffs. Holy shit. Oh, they're just going ham on Bretonnia, and like I'm kind of here for it. I hope they end up balancing everything, like, but these sound fun. The peasant units have the expendable attribute removed, as the knight and peasant attributes now cover that gameplay interactions. All peasants have the peasant's duty. Peasants, men-at-arms, battle pilgrims, squires, bowmen, yeomen, trebuchets now gain +8 leadership if they are nearby knights. Peasant infantry overall have had their leadership reduced slightly to account for this change. All right, unit changes. Grail Knights and Grail Guardians have been rebalanced to lower entity counts, 48 and 32 respectively, so they lost models. We made this change to emphasize the heroism of the legendary Grail Knights of Bretonnia, as well as making their overall battlefield readability a bit better. All Bretonnian cavalry units used to be composed of 60 entities, meaning it was difficult to pick out various cavalry units at a distance. Both Grail Knights and Grail Guardians now deal a majority armor-piercing damage, making them a lot deadier in combat. Jesus fucking Christ, you guys! What the hell is this? Grail Guardians were already slapping kids! And now they both have majority AP. Holy shit. All right. My God, these patches are so dumb. Loopy, what are you talking about? These are hype as fuck. I mean, Bretonnia's probably going to be a little OP, but the RORs are sick. The RORs are super sick. For anybody just joining, we mostly started like a couple seconds ago. There's low tier regiments now for every faction you have to go read. They look really, really cool. Some of them are going to be weird, but they look overall really good. All right. Where were we at? AP for Grail Knights and Grail Guardians. Hippogriff Knights now benefit from the full Grail package, trademarked apparently. This compromises magic attacks, perfect vigor, and the Blessing of the Lady baked into their cost. That's fine. Why would they lose HP? I don't know. I think they meant that the units have the same amount of HP but less models, so each model has more HP. But they will deal less DPS with that because there's less models doing the attacks. So I don't know. It's like a very complicated change that I'm going to have to play with to figure out, and I can't just look at the piece of paper and tell you exactly how it's going to perform. 4 more entities added to the Royal Hippogriff mounts. Cool. The Grail Relique has been relieved of its leadership buffing role. What? Now that the Knights can prop up the leadership of the peasants, it means the Grail Relique doesn't have to carry the peasants as hard as it once did. To reflect that, the Icon of Devotion now buffs melee attack and has had its overall leadership buff reduced slightly. Combining this units with Knights or a Paladin is now a really good synergy to keep your frontline healthy. Yeah. They also made Grails do splash damage. That's silly. Alright. You don't think reducing the HP on the Cav is a good choice? I don't know if they reduce the HP per model. They reduce the models, but yeah. Alright, stability and performance. We fixed a crash, fixed instances where softlock could happen, fixed an issue where people aren't able to access DLC, softlock issue, looking for any of these that affect me, really. Okay, it fixed a bunch of crashes. I mean, I'm not going to go through each one of those. Gameplay, general rules and systems. Load panel got fixed. AI rules and logic. Okay, I am interested in this one because the AI is dumb as hell. AI artillery units in walled settlement battles prevent them from wasting ammo on unnecessary gate building targets. Okay, in addition, we've made improvements to AI unit groups instructed to guard vulnerable units when attacking settlements. Units will not remain idle in place when taking fire from fort towers. Got it. Distance check between branch points, settlement walls to avoid hard collisions. Okay. Rollback changes made to improve attacking AI's ability to capture points in settlement battles. It was adversely affecting their defensive behavior. Instead, we've implemented a new solution to improve attacking AI's ability to focus on unowned capture points. Okay, that's fine. So the AI is just a little better at sieges. That's fine. Tool changes and updates. Oh, fuck. Okay, what is this? More detailed tooltip system. It's easier to spot inconsistencies and oversights regarding skill and effect functions. Okay. Sneaky Stab is now correctly includes Snotling Pump Wagons. All wall units are now visible in the skill tree. Silver Torrent includes the Lion Chariots of Christ. Okay, so these are like... Okay, these are campaign skills. Like if like Deathmaster Snitch gets a red ability, Death Runners don't benefit from Infiltrator. Gotcha. Okay, I'm not going to go through all these because they're just like campaign changes and I don't really know what I'm talking about with them, so I'm going to skip. Mass tooltip. We discovered an issue with the numbers displayed on this tooltip, which have now been fixed. Previously, it was adding up the mass of all associated entities within a single model and displaying it as a giant number. For example, if a chariot could add the mass of each horse, each rider, the engine, and everything else attached to it. This was incorrect, and the effective mass of the unit is generally governed by a single part. Okay. Oh! Yeah! Okay. I think this, if this is what I think it is, I think this is the appropriate changes. Hold on, let's read through it before I wildly speculate. Who's the new legendary hero? We don't know. We don't know. They said at the start, there's a new legendary hero, and we'll tell you who it is on our official stream. You don't get to know. Fuck you, nerd. Alright, we got some good feedback. We increased the mass of the Wild Riders last patch. We made a few more changes to make cavalry mass that will hopefully push us nearer to the nice sweet spot where charges feel impactful but can still be countered in the right circumstances. Generally, we've attempted to break cavalry up into certain mass brackets like light cav, regular cav, heavy and shock cav, monstrous cav, and characters. So the experience interaction between cavalry and other units is more readable and consistent across the board. This is still a work in progress, so if you have any strong opinions on the mass units in the game, we'd love to hear them. Okay, so it looks like they were trying to do the mass changes that we were hoping for, that like there's a lot of older cavalry that just doesn't do anything, and I really hope they fix the fucking Chaos Knights. We do now. It's been posted on Reddit. Alright, well I don't know what that is. I'm reading this shit for the first time. Alright, other notable changes. Players must take a lord character in their game of domination or survival. No more sneaky Skaven slave lords. Alright, so Turin, I imagine Turin was just telling them to do that constantly. Characters mounted on chariots can once again fire magic missiles. Units should be a bit more reliable when attempting to fire from walls. Harold Hammerstorm. Don't know who that is. Races and balance. All rights are once again locked until the requirements are met. Bunch of spells and abilities I don't know about. Flames of Asgore and Flames of Asgore upgrade. The penetration value of flames for Asgore's projectiles has been increased so that spawn projectiles no longer immediately explode and overdamage very large units. Okay, so that like thing you could do where you could summon the Flames of Asgore underneath like a Dreadsaurian and do a third of its health is gone. And then Burning Wrath was also tightened up. Unit abilities. Everyone has their price. That's Grease's Goldtooth's ability, right? Why isn't this just... The fuck is this? Like, why... why are the unit abilities all individually placed up here instead of being, like, in the Ogre Kingdom section so I know who the hell they're tied to? Alright. Oh, fuck. What are we doing? Everyone has their price been reworked to an AoE debuff that targets all units in its radius. That's a good Grease's Goldtooth buff. Lord of Torment. I don't actually know who that is. Oh, I think that might be Be'lakor. Intensity conditions have been lowered. Blessing of the Lady, that's for all of Bretonnia. Got changed to ward save from physical resist. Heroic Fortitude, effect duration, 2 seconds, and 12% heal amount. That's Gotrek. I think they tried to fix it. Pelt of Wolfag has been fixed, so any fleeing enemy unit is now affected by its debuff. I think that's the new Goblin. It's the Goblin, Hobgoblin Wolfrider ROR for the Chaos Dwarves, I think. Alright, I got it right. The Wasting Sickness, increased effect range, decreased debuff. Cool. That's fine. Lance, their mass buff and their charge buffs got reduced because they got the stat rework. Icon of Devotion, it's a 5 melee attack buff, but its leadership went from 12 to 8. Ooh, 12 to 8. Still going to be pretty good. The Venom Staff for Kalito, wind-up time is 1 second. Okay. Braid of Bordalo, +4 bonus versus large. God damn, they are loving Bretonnia this patch. Yvres fixed an issue where the item's ability was granting 2 different types of unbreakable status. That's weird. Hi, Hazel. Hi. I'm being attacked. Vial of Hashit, weakness to fire. Oh, oh, that's so funny. Holy shit. The Vial of Hashit, weakness to fire reduced from 60% to 20. All right. Jesus. That's really funny. They apparently were sick of that shit. Anyway, it reduces your armor by 60 instead of 40, so that is a buff in that aspect, but 40% less weakness to fire on that item is going to be kind of brutal. How's the patch looking? I'm enjoying it a lot. It seems like Loopy's not really enjoying it. I don't know how the rest of the chat's feeling. Chalice of Blood and Darkness now activates based on map-wide enemy spell activations for half the previous health amount. Okay. So they had a bug with it where sometimes it would activate globally, but sometimes it would actually pay attention to its radius. It looks like they just made it permanent that it always works globally, but then cut the healing in half. That's fine. Is the game still broken? I don't know. A lot of the changes are good, so I hope not. All right, Stone Mantle now activates when the unit has 75% or less HP remaining. Stone Mantle's Astrogoth's thing. Now scales the effect across 4,000 HP instead of 3,000, meaning that it takes longer to scale up, and the speed debuff is -20. Okay, so Astrogoth gets slower, and it takes longer to charge up his physical resist item. What up, Torox? Henry, I don't know yet. Patches more improvements than expected. Noblo Trapper buff is insane, though. We'll see. Beastmen got more mass on all of their... Wait, got more mass on one Chariot type. Their Feral Manticore got a mass increase. Razorgore's got a mass increase. Huh. Okay. That's fine. Beastmen were honestly performing okay. All right, Fat Kid Resos, I'm proud of you. Bretonnia, we've already talked a shit ton about Bretonnia. The King Loon Licorn now has magical attacks befitting of a True Grail Knight. Beaki and Hippogriff mounts also has a sizable HP buff in order to give them a bit more staying power on the battlefield. That's going to be huge. Lewin has needed some HP increases, so that's cool. He gets magic attacks too, which is nice. 1,000 hit points on his Hippogriff mount, and on Byakhee 1,000 hit points. He gets more splash attack, more mass, and on Byakhee he gets more melee attack, more melee defense, more weapon damage, more armor-piercing weapon damage, magical attacks, and 300 more mass. So that's cool. Lewin needed the buffs. Are the beta changes which help Chariots and Cav? I haven't gotten there yet. They haven't mentioned anything. Okay. Alberic. More... Wait. He got cheaper in multiplayer. No, wait. What the fuck? He got more expensive in multiplayer. Okay. 1,000 more hit points, more melee attack, less charge bonus, more damage, both types, and more mass. Okay, that's fine. Hippogriffs overall got the same buffs, it looks like. Whoa. Whoa! What the fuck, dude? Okay, Lord Hippogriff got melee attack and melee defense buffs, but Henry Le Massif took a 10 melee defense nerf. He took a 10 melee defense nerf. Fuck you, Henry, I guess. That's funny. Damsel Hunter Unicorn, more mass. Fey Enchantress, over double her mass increase. Interesting. Green Knight, some mass changes. It's fine. Spearmen at Arms, all morale. Oh, for God's sakes. Are they changing leadership to morale? Why is it morale? It was leadership in the tooltips up above. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Looks like all Bretonnia non-knight units lose about 5 leadership because they get more leadership than that back from the passive they got. No real notable changes here. Except for the Holy Wardens of La Masatil got immune to contact effects, which is kind of cool, I guess. Mounted Yeoman... Just some acceleration and deceleration changes, charge bonus changes to the Bretonnian Knights, Knight of the Realm, Questing Knights. Seeing as how they're reducing these guys as a charge bonus, I have to hope that cavalry charges are fixed and that, like, in testing or something, these guys were just slamming kids, so they had to reduce their charge bonus. Grail Knights, we talked about it up above a lot, so we'll just keep this moving. Their cost went up by 200. That's actually kind of brutal. But their number of entities went down by 12. Their hit points overall went up. So you have less models, but the same amount of HP, which already increases your model HP per. And then you get more HP on top of that. So like each Grail Knight in the unit is going to be much tankier, but there will be less of them. 30 more armor, more missile block chance, less base weapon damage, but way more armor piercing. Okay. Grail Knights might be fucking cracked. Grail Knights might be fucking cracked. Grail Guardians got a 250 gold cost increase, so that is kind of brutal. Their entities got cut in half, but they got more HP overall, so again, their models are going to be very tanky, and like, Fatabuna might not fuck up their shit nearly as bad. We'll see. Base weapon damage up, armor-piercing weapon damage up, so Grail Guardians got even more damage. Oh my god. That's going to be nuts. That's going to be upsettingly strong, but okay. And then some basic little things. Royal Hippogriff Knights got perfect vigor and magic attacks. Other than that, 100 gold cost increase. Oh, some of the RORs got changes to keep up with their regular units. Okay, got it. Chaos Dwarves. Oh, I am interested to see what they're going to do here. Chaos Dwarves have been receiving a lot of attention this patch. Fucking good. Astrogoth is a bit overtuned at launch and has been adjusted along with Bull Centaur renders, and the Naphtha bomb-wielding Infernal Ironsworn units is both very cost-effective. Kadai have received a nice buff. Yes! But the biggest change is that the Iron Demon is now able to move and shoot properly. This should hopefully eliminate some of the frustration that players were encountering. The Skullcracker is out, also now a bit of a beast in melee. Yes! With better combat stats and improved ability to knock back enemies. Artillery has also been given a pass, the Magma Cannon receiving a bit of a range nerf, the Dead Shrieker got a higher degree of accuracy, and the Dreadquake getting a bit more range. Cool. Chaos Dwarf Legendary Lords will no longer lose their mortality upon Confederation. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Okay, those are bugs, I don't care. Campaign! I'm going to skip a lot of these things because I don't know what changed about them. Skip. The Granite Guard now has stats reflective of a regiment of renown. Nice. Recruitment time for the Iron Demon and Skullcrackers has been reduced by 2 turns. Okay. Well, 2 turns. Chaos Dwarf RORs, cooldown for Koto's backstabs, now functions as intended. Okay, cool. Astrogoth, 200 more cost. His hit points are down 500. Wait, 400. Charge bonus down 10. His mass is cut in half, and his turn speed is down. Okay, those are probably good changes. Go, Astrogoth, go. You doubt the Grail Knights and Grail Guardians will overperform much due to their insane price? Maybe, but people are already taking like 3 of them. I imagine they could just take 2 now. Drazoth the Ashen Mount, his cost is... Why? Drazoth on his Cinder Breath was already prohibitively expensive. Okay, well, they made him more expensive. Okay. His Zaton the Black's Great Taurus Mount takes a nerf on its mass. Zaton the Black's Lamasude Mouse gets a buff based on its mass. Sorcerer Prophet gets 100 gold cost increase and a mount decrease in mass. Sorcerer Prophet, same treatment, except it actually got a mount. The Lamasude's got more mass. Okay, Overseer, cost reduction, then the same mass changes we saw earlier. I'm still confused why Zaton didn't get buffs and Drazoth got nerfs as well, even though they're not that good. Gordo's Backstabber is more spency. Oh no, because he was such a fucking problem. Demonsmith Sorcerer, more spency, more spency, more spency. Chaos Dwarf Blunderbuss, remove the attribute charge defense versus large. That's probably smart. Chaos Dwarf Blunderbuss, Granite Guard now get more melee attack and reload skill. Hooray. Blazing Beard of Bazrak. Armor-piercing missile damage down from 8 to 0 and base missile damage from 4 to 1. Okay, that sounds brutal. Base explosion damage is up and armor piercing explosion damage is down. Okay, so like it'll be better against the low armor targets. Gotcha. Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits, base missile damage is down because Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits were such a problem. Infernal Ironsworn, cost is up. Missile damage reworked, so they're less armor piercing. Still armor piercing, but less. Immortals, cost increase. Bull Centaur Renders, cost increase. Melee attack nerf. Missile block chance down, so they have a bronze shield instead of a silver now. And their collision box size is increased. The Bull E-Centaur Renders. Oh, dude, I love E-Centaurs. They're my favorite. Melee attack decrease, so like... Bull Centaurs are kind of getting fucked. Hashed's Dark Raptors are 1,900 gold. Okay, based off of this, hot take... Chaos Dwarfs are fucking dead. They're dead. In land battles, they were OP, but they relied so heavily on Bull Centaurs being broken, Magma Cannons being broken, and Astrogoth being broken. Astrogoth might survive, like his mass wasn't actually his biggest problem. He's still pretty cheap, and he's still really strong for what it looks like. Though some of his abilities got nerfed, but like, Bull Centaur is getting a cost increase from already being super fucking expensive, and taking melee nerfs. They might just be toast. They might just be fucked. Oglicons, Wolf Boys, reload skills up. Okay. Great Taurus, cost down. So this is the non-mounted Great Taurus. I tried doing that way. It didn't do much. Lamasu, recruitment cost. Bale Taurus, recruitment cost is down. So the individual monsters without a lord on top of them are getting cheaper. Kadai Destroyer got 10 more leadership, 30 more armor, and Burning Bright now active until only 25 HP remains. Okay, Kadai Fireborn, more leadership, more armor, and again, their buff lasts longer. I don't think that's going to be enough to keep them alive. I think they'll still probably be bad, but okay. Magma Cannon, 200 more cost. Melee attacks up, base weapon damage up, armor piercing down, bonus versus infantry gone entirely. Okay, cool. Deathstreaker rocket launcher, leadership up, melee attack up, ammunition up, base damage up, armor piercing down, bonus versus infantry is entirely gone, and then projectile stuff that I honestly just don't understand. Dreadquake Mortar, cheaper, longer range, and less armor piercing. Jesus, they're just taking out all the armor piercing from these fucking guys. The Iron Demon can now move and shoot simultaneously. Nice. Melee attacks up, nice. Melee defense up, nice. Charge bonus up, nice. Armor's up, nice. Weapon damage, base, and armor piercing is up, nice. Bonus versus infantry, nice. So that's good. Iron Demon, Dreadquake Mortar, a lot of the stuff we've already been talking about. Demon's Tongue, Iron Demon, ROR, same treatment as the regular, but it's fine. Deepest Hug, Dreadcrate, Mortar, all the stuff we've been talking about is fine. Skullcracker can now knock back enemies' entities more effectively. A shit ton more melee attack, more melee defense, charge bonus, armor, weapon damage of all kinds, and bonus for infantry is also up. Cool, cool. Burning Wrath no longer has an instantaneous cast when Drazoth, the Sorcerer, Prophets, and Demon Smiths are mounted. Cool. What up, dude? Dark Elves! We didn't quite get the Dark Elf mount costs right last time around. We've taken another look and rebalance them. As a result, Rakarth and Lokir are now a little bit cheaper. Yay! Dark Steed mounts are heavier along with Cold Ones and Manticores, while Dark Steed Cavalry has an acceleration boot. Okay. There's a slave update for campaign. A lot of people have complained about it. I encourage you to go read that for yourself because I have never finished a Dark Elf campaign. I don't really understand the slave mechanics, so I'm not a great person to comment on them. Buildings, I just don't know. So I'm going to skip past that stuff. Campaign things, again, I'm not the guy to look at. I'm not the guy to tell you about those things. So you're going to have to go read those yourselves. Very sorry. On to the stuff I actually talk about. Dark Steeds, the horse mounts got more mass. Malekith got an 150 gold cost increase. And on his dragon, he got a 450 gold increase. Jesus Christ. What about the Kadai? They got slightly more armor and a little more leadership, but not much. Malekith, 450 gold increase on his dragon. Holy shit. Loopy, what do you mean these Malekith nerfs makes no sense? He was like the most common lord, even in the last patch after the nerfs. It was him or Malekith with boobs. Those were the like two Dark Elf lords we saw. And Malice is still really strong, but like we didn't see him because Malekith and Soulstealer and shit was just way too good. So yeah, I completely disagree, Loopy. Like, Malekith has been a fucking problem since Dark Elves came out. Crone Hellebron, 100 gold cost decrease. I doubt that brings her into the meta in any form. 100 gold across all of her mounts. Yeah. Other than that, it's fine. Lokir, 100 gold cost decrease. Slaves become laborers. You can cast, finish your buildings. Slave decline in rates, modified public order. Oh, nice. All right. On Foot and Chariot and Cold One needed no nerfs. He was still pretty good on a Cold One, mostly because of Soulstealer. Healing has been the issue. I mean, yeah, but also, like, giving physical resist, missile resist, amazing abilities, and combat stats to a Dragon Lord, making him cheap as fuck. Like, for a Dragon Lord, Malekith was quite cheap. And then, because, like, compared Malekith to Imrik in cost, and he's a caster, and then Soulstealer can heal him up. Yeah. Anyway. Rakarth, 100 gold off. Except for his Scourge-Runner mount got a 50 gold cost increase. Don't know why that one's catching strays, but it is. His Manticore mount also got more expensive. Brachus, his dragon, got more expensive. More melee defense and slightly more armor. Okay. Why is Rakarth actually getting nerfed? Why is Rakarth getting nerfed? And Lokir, actually, his cost on his dragon went up. So they said at the very start, they were like, we've made Rakarth and Lokir a little bit cheaper, but actually that's only their foot variants. All of their mounts got more fucking expensive. So Rakarth and Lokir just taking nerfs as strays. Holy shit. That's so dumb. Okay. That's funny. That's funny and dumb. Dreadlord got a cost increase on a Dark Pegasus. Black Dragon mounts up by 300. Okay. So the mount changes kind of apply across all lords. Got it. And the Supreme Sorceress on her mount of a Black Dragon got a 300 gold cost increase, which is good. Rakarth's just getting kicked while he's down. Hell yeah, dude. Mounts. No one cares. Acceleration, deceleration of Dark Riders is kind of getting increased across the board, like a lot of horses have been. And then Cold One Knights are getting an entity mass increase, which should make their charges do more damage. And the Ravagers of Karth, Scourger and Chariots got a reload skill increase thing, and the Feral Manticore got a mass increase. Okay, so the Dark Elves just got some cost increases on some of their lords and mounts, and the rest of their roster was left alone. That's honestly okay. I hope healing has changed a little later on, but like the rest of the Dark Elf roster has been good, but not that oppressive in my opinion. Leadership's kind of an issue. Like Dark Elves currently are really strong due to issues with the game in general, not like their roster. Like Blacker Corsairs are strong, but that's fine. One of the problems is that leadership in general is too high right now, so you have to pretty much like kill the whole unit, otherwise they'll rally and come back. Dwarfs. Okay, I'm going to be mad for a second. I've been very, very happy with these patch notes so far. Everything's been great. Everything's been great. Been happy. All that stuff's awesome. Dwarfs. Thoric's unique follower, Ancillary Craggy, can now be re-equipped if removed. Thoric Ironbrow is a fucking problem. Thoric Ironbrow is a fucking problem. Every other Dwarven Lord is just worse. They are inferior in every single way. They have been since Warhammer 2. Can somebody please give the Dwarf Lords a fucking buff? Can somebody remember that the dwarves exist? Just give them anything. Ungrim Ironfist needs way more fucking weapon damage so he can actually slay dragons. Like, he is a dragon slayer. That is what he does. And he does like 100, I'm exaggerating a proof of point, but he does like 100 fucking weapon strength. Dragons have 8,000 or more HP. That would take him like 80 fucking swings, my man. He would need to swing at a dragon that is asleep, AFK, like 80 times to kill it. And they're like, seems chill. Thorgrim Grudgebearer fucking sucks. He costs $1 million. He does nothing. His army abilities aren't global. They're only local, which just sucks. And they say, looks fine, my man. Belgar Ironhammer is actually kind of okay. Grombrindle is super expensive for doing nothing. And they're like, looks fine, my man. Thoric Ironbrow has infinite spells because runes are fucking spells. I will fight you on that. No winds of magic. AoE, if you cast anything near him, including dragon breath attacks or the Revivification Crystal of the Lizardmen, you're going to take some damage for doing that. Also, he has an ITP aura. Also, he has a better than perfect vigor aura. Also, he has armor piercing. Also, he has magic damage. Also, he has high armor. Also, he's not even that expensive. Also, he has a mount, which dwarves don't normally have. He's just the best fucking lord in the game, and they will never nerf him. They will never nerf him. But all the other dwarf lords are dead to them. Dead to them. All right. Greenskins. For Greenskins, the Wyvern's gotten heavier. The Snotling Pump Wagons have lost some charge bonus, the latter of which is contributing some balancing issues. So it looks like they fixed the Snotling Pump Wagon bug, hopefully. Units, Azhag, more mass. But, like, Azhag's problems is that his HP count is so small compared to most other, like, dragon-type mounted lords. So, like, I don't know why they're focusing on his mass and not his god-awful HP pool. Orc Warboss, more mass for anything on a Wyverns. Cave Squig got more mass for the Night God Warboss. Snotling Pump Wagons, -5 charge bonus, fixed it. -15 on the Flappas, -5 on the Spiky Rollos, -5 on the ROR Fair Wyvern. More mass, and Sneak Stab is now correct, targets the correct units. Okay, so Greenskins overall, not much changes. They are performing pretty decently in land battles, though I still think their lords need a look at, because I think Warzag is slightly overtuned, and I think the rest of their lords are slightly undertuned. But other than that, they have honestly been performing fine, so I'm not that upset about the Greenskin changes. They're fine. High Elves. Oh, God. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a lot of mass stuff. Griffins, Lions, Horses, and all High Elf Cavalry now run at 84 speed faster than the Empire, which should hopefully help their matchups. Cool. All right, so the High Elves have been overall balanced to be the fastest, according to this. So that's fine. Why buff Azhag, though? Confusing with Warzag. Yeah. Azhag the Slaughterer. Okay, mass increases for all those things. I'm going to skip over the mass increases because they literally just announced it, but like Griffin's got a big mass increase to 2,300 from 1,600. Phoenix's apparently got a mass increase too. Got it. The same acceleration and deceleration changes we saw for the Dark Elves. Mass increase for Warlion mounts, Illyrian River archers, more speed and deceleration stuff. Heralds of the Wind, same speed and deceleration. You're getting the point. Dragon Prince has got 200 more mass. That'll be nice for their charges, I suppose. Mass. End of list. Cool. Okay. They still haven't fixed Nasty Skulker's Optimistic Murder. It still triggers whenever they're in combat, not just when they're winning. Weird. Is Thoric dead? No, I can reread the entire Dwarven patch notes for you real quick. Thoric's unique follower in campaign can be re-equipped if removed. That's all they did to the Dwarves. Thoric's still the only viable lord. Okay. Cavalry Juggernauts have lost a bit of mass, though they shouldn't feel it too much. Character Juggernauts, on the other hand, have gained some for Khorne. Oh, Khorne's area is depressingly low. Okay, so they're not going to fix Scarbrand. Great. Character mounts on their Juggernauts are up. Chaos Steeds are up. And the Skull Crushers of Khorne, entity mass went down 50, and so did their Blood Crusher mounts. Okay, that's disappointing. Khorne's not in a terrible place, but they're not in a good place. Like, Scarbrand specifically needs a rework. Some of their lords need reworks. And even, like, a quick slapdash fix would be like, here's 500 gold off Scarbrand. We'll deal with it later. But, like, currently, if you take Scarbrand, you're just paying so much money, you don't get the rest. You don't get another piece of your army. Did Chorfs get proper nerfs? It feels like they might have gotten bent over a barrel. I'm actually much more concerned that Chaos Dwarfs are going to be worthless than I am about them not being nerfed enough. Okay, Kislev. Armored Kossars received an additional 10 entities to improve their frontline capabilities, which is funny because Armored Kossars, like, before I keep reading this, my opinion before reading whatever this is that Armored Kossars are jacked. Armored Kossars are great. And Kislev's Bear Cavalry is fine. And their bears, I guess their sleds are doing okay. But everything else on the Kislev roster is horribly underperforming. So it's funny to me that the first thing I read is Armored Kossars, the only unit of ours that's worth a goddamn thing, is getting buffed. Anyway. That's kind of funny. Ulrika got less ammo, less fire resistance, less magic resistance. Cool. I think those were campaign, though. Horse characters getting the mass changes everything else. I think it's just in general, horses have, like, if horses get, if horses are in infantry, they also have troubles getting out. So, like, horses are just getting an entity mass increase so they can get out of anything at all. The Warbear mount, more mass. Armored Kossars, more entities, more hit points. Armored Kossars, great weapons, same treatment. Zargard, +4 bonus versus infantry. Griffin Legion, +200 mass. And the Zargard RR just got the same treatment as the Zargard. All right, lads, we did it. Kislev is fixed. We buffed slightly the units that are already good, and we got 4 more bonus versus infantry on Zargard, which are never fucking used. We did it. Best faction, though. Okay. That's pretty funny. What am I being pinged for? Alright. Lizardmen! Tehennowin and his red-crested brethren have gained a new trait, immunity to contact effects. This is represent their immunity to poison on tabletop. Should also create a new niche for red-crested skinks units to occupy in the Lizardmen roster. Red-crested skinks already had a niche. They're the only armor-piercing infantry you have. Aside from other small changes, massive cold one character mounts, cavalry has also been boosted. Okay, so we're getting the general cavalry is still getting mass increases. Got it. Cool. Cold ones and horn ones got 300 more mass. Tehennowin and red crystal skinks got immune to contact effects. And entity mass. Max entities hit per splash attack is doubled from 1 to 2. Okay, that could actually do pretty good for those hunting packs. I'll have to try them out. That's fun. Coldwind Riders, the mass is up to 1,500, and that is it for Lizardmen. Honestly, not a terrible patch. Like, Saurus could use some buffs, for sure. Like, I know there's things wrong with the Lizardmen roster, but in the grand scale of Warhammer 3 right now, Lizardmen are performing rather fine. So I'm not upset that they don't have, like, a massive patch. It's like, yeah, they're doing okay. There's other factions that need some love. Like, so far, salt aside about the dwarves and stuff, my actual real thoughts about the patch so far are overall positive. Some little things aren't in there that are annoying me, but, like, Chaos Dwarves are a problem. They fucking hit him in the back of the head. So that was nice.
Damn, human boy, you're way too biased. Am I? Am I? Norsca. The biggest notable Norscan changes is that the Axemen on the back of the Ice Wolf Chariot now has a better melee attack animation, so the performance of the unit in melee should be a bit better. We've corrected a blunder with Fimir with dual weapons, gave bonus versus large instead of bonus versus infantry. No, I was enjoying the Fimir. No. Okay. So the Fimir regulars have bonus versus infantry instead of large. Kilgore Slay Maim got a mass entity increase. Ice Chariot's got a better mass increase in fucking melee attack, I guess. And the Fimir Warriors, Miststalkers... Okay, that change has been mentioned like 5 times. Hey, did you know we fixed the Miststalkers? Hey, did you know we fixed the Fimir Warriors and the Miststalkers? Hey, did you notice that we fixed the Fimir Warriors and the Miststalkers? Alright, Patch, I got it. Calm the fuck down. Alright, Nurgle. It's a quiet update for Nurgle. The metadata for Nurglings has been shifted, so their melee attacks connect more often and reliably do damage. Small change. Fear not, though. Some serious Nurgle love is due with Thrones of Decay later this year. Okay, so they literally just said we'll deal with Nurgle later, which is okay. I mean, at least they acknowledged it. Fimir got a triple buff? No, they didn't. They got a triple nerf. Bonus versus large is better than bonus versus infantry, for sure. And they got changed to bonus versus... Their bonus versus large turned to versus infantry. Anyway. Ogre Kingdoms. Nurgle, I'm disappointed. I think some of their lords and heroes still need nerfs, and I think a lot of their units still need buffs, so that's silly. Alright. Ogre... Such a stupid laughter. I don't know what you want from me on that one. Ogre Kingdoms. Ogre spellcaster now immune to contact effects. They've added immune to contact effects like 3 different times this patch to different things. They're apparently really against it. In order to reflect their tabletop rules, Nalba Trappers have received a tiny bonus versus infantry melee weapons outside of these stat changes. Greases, everyone's had their prices been buffed. Nalba Trappers, bonus versus infantry 5. Because Nalba Trappers weren't already good enough, which, again, land battle stuff, Nalba Trappers are actually fucking cracked. So they got a buff. And everything else is fine. So, alright. I guess Greasus will just stay Greasising. Skaven. Bonebreaker mass increase. Okay. Orplock Jazales and now curling. Okay, so that's campaign stuff. So Skaven are left largely alone. I would still love for more Poison Wind Globe nerfs, but otherwise it's fine. Real question is, did they implement the Foot and Chariot character fixes? God, I hope so. Slaanesh. Nakari was received from Love in this update. Good. He could use it. With some special attention placed on their attack metadata. Okay, cool. Marauders are now slightly cheaper again. Why? Hey, guys. Slaanesh has been OP forever. What should we do? Nerf their Marauders and their Hellstriders. Alright, we did that. Now they suck. What should we do? Buff their Demonettes, Exalted Demonettes, their fucking Seekers of Slaanesh, Heart Seekers of Slaanesh, make all of their chariots work, make their single entities better, make their heroes better, do anything like that. Give them more flyers, give them more ways to play. We're just gonna buff it. We're just gonna make the Marauders better again. Now! Now! Who needs globes nerfs when they never throw? We didn't see enough Marauders last patch. It's true, dude. We've never seen Marauders. Made Nakari's attacks more reliable. Again, cool. Like, fine. But is that what people are talking about? Is it that Nakari's price point is fucking insane in multiplayer? And his heal only works on demonic or maybe undead units because a unit has to entirely die next to him, which makes it almost unusable versus mortal factions? And they're like, you're right, his attack metadata is the problem. And it's like, okay, that's a problem I didn't even know about, but it's not the problem. And actually, the problem is a lot easier to fix. Just make him cheaper. Does Slaanesh have any flying units in their lore army books? I have no idea. Well, I know they have Furies. But that's it. Okay. Chaos Mounts got the same treatment as a lot of stuff. Devoted Marauders got a 50 gold cost decrease across, it looks like, the board. Except for Hellscourges are staying at 550, which is fine. Those guys are really good. The Empire, what do we got? The Mounts got all increases. We've been talking about this all day. So anything besides that. Great Swords, more damage. More bonus for infantry. Oh, okay. I mean, Great Sword buffs are fine. I like Great Swords, so that's cool, I guess. And that's about it. Okay, Empire got left mostly alone. All right. Tomb Kings. Wow. Okay. Same horse increases we've been talking about. And then the Bone Giant got twice the accuracy modifier. But other than that, they got left alone. And they're struggling really hard right now in land battles, in my opinion. So I don't think they're going to be that good. Tzeentch. No changes, really. Just the mass we've been talking about. Luther Harkon on the Vampire Coast. Vampire Coast damned units benefit from some Bretonnia updates, gaining the Knight attributes. So in the event the Vampire Coast get their hands on some peasants. Woo! Luther Harkon, more mass, because that was all he needed. Charge bonus is lessened on the Knights Errant. Knights of the Realm and Knights Errant got kind of just the normal stuff that they got with Bretonnia. And the Gallus Giant got a reload skill increase. Okay. Coast largely untouched. Cool. Vampire counts. This doesn't say that they fixed the thing that bothers me the most in campaign, which is when you fight undead or demonic stuff, it's really fucking annoying to kill everything on the battlefield and then go back to the campaign map, and the army is just, every single unit in the army is at half HP, and they run away. And it's like, why would it have been more beneficial for me to kill everything except for your lord, then surrender and come kick your ass again? Because surrendering would have meant that only your lord lives because you won. So beating the vampire counts is sometimes not correct, which bothers me. But okay, fine. Vampire Shadows. What? Why does that? Why are they nerfing only the Vampire Shadowcaster has reduced leadership, but like the other vampire lords, the other vampires are slightly more courageous? That's pretty funny. One could say this patch is a massive fail. Yeah, I don't know. I'm overall thinking that these are good changes. It's just not all the changes I would have wanted, but they're still good changes, I think, overall. All right. Character mounts, same mass increases we've seen across board, except the Terrorgeist actually loses mass, which is kind of weird. Vampire of Shadows lost 5 morale. Black Knights got Strider and some mass. Oh, God. Freaka, you're right. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord got left entirely alone. Fuck! Okay. Yeah, that's still going to be their only lord. Okay. That's kind of lame. Warriors of Chaos. We can't even blame the campaign casuals for this one. It's just CA being dense. Warriors of Chaos. Mounts got all the changes we've been talking about this whole stream, so I'm going to move on from that. Mass splash attacks from Manticores and Gorby's Chariots increased. Okay. Chaos Knights mass increases. Marauders of Slaanesh, plus 25 gold. Marauders of Slaanesh to Health Gorges, plus 25 gold. Just make them the same cost as the Slaanesh roster, which is okay, I guess. And that's it for Warriors of Chaos. So they're still going to struggle. They're like a bottom tier faction right now. Wood Elves. We updated War Dancers and Blade Singers. They benefit across 2 different dances instead of a single dance. These dances are mutually exclusive, so activating a dance will disable any others. Mass changes we've talked about before. And they now, War Dancers now have Woven Mist as an additional dance. I don't know what it does. War Dancers as Rice Spears have Storm of Blade, and Blade Singers have the Shadow's Coil. Okay, I don't know what those are. Some of those sounds familiar, so I think they were just like giving each other's dances. Campaign. Oh wow, you're right. There's 0 Cathay changes. They're not even listed. Oh, that is depressing. Because they needed a Harmony rework pretty badly. Okay, campaign, Immortal Empires, Tiny Thing, bugs, diplomacy, bugs. Okay, so I don't really care about those things. Endless survival battles no longer limit the enemy army spawn to 20, which is smart because otherwise it doesn't feel very endless. Graphics changes, I'm going to skip. Audio changes, I'm going to skip. UI changes, do any of these matter? Skip. Looking forward. We hope you're happy with the changes we made as we continue to absorb all your feedback and aim for the best possible balance. Now we're done. Why not jump straight into the game and check out the Bretonnia update, dish out the SmackDown as a new legendary hero, or fight against the will of Hashut to prevent the unending growth of the Chaos Rogues. Okay. Barring any hotfixes, the next update will be in 4.0 in the summer. Alright. So there's no like 3.2 or anything. You know the meme about there is no war in Ba Sing Se? That just makes me think of like the fact there was no Cathay buffs. There are no buffs for Grand Cathay. All right. Cannon still can't hit them. All right. So apparently some people are talking about cannon still can't hit bull centaurs. Yeah. Herald Hammerstorm. So this guy's out. What does he do? He is really fucking expensive. Enemy minus 10 damage. 10% damage across the board for his enemies and plus 10 melee defense for just himself. The Hammer of Harry, an explosion. Bro, this guy is so fucking expensive. He's unbreakable. Removes undead attribute. What? Hold on. What? Hi, Hazel. Hi. Hi. Okay, hi. I'm being attacked by a dog off screen, so give me 1 second. Okay, so you have Bane of the Dead. Good for you. Good for you, Harry. Stop! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Festus got a new picture, it looks like, and it looks weird. Okay, so let's go with Pink Fire of Tzeentch and Treason of Tzeentch. I want to see what this guy does. Is he supposed to be seen now? I don't know. Dude, this is the live game. I don't have early access. So if you got the update, you can turn on your game right now and have this guy. That's not me. But does it remove crumbling? I think so. I don't know. We're about to find out what the fuck that means. What is this? The Hammer of Harry. I also kind of want to see how much that explosion is. Village the Castling. Whoa! Jesus! That hammer did a lot of damage. They're routing. But it's funny because they don't have the flag and they still have crumbling. So you can't tell that they're routing. It looks like the AI is just walking away from me because they don't have the little white flag over their head. But they're just walking away. It's just going. Oh, that's funny. That makes me happy. Okay. So he's silly. Which I can appreciate. That's very silly. So my thoughts overall. It's a permanent effect? Yeah, it's a passive. Did they fix... Hold on, did they fix this? Okay, if you don't take Hellbound, is it still on the unit? So I'm going to test a couple things here really quick. So let's take 2 Iron Demons. Nah, just 1 Iron Demon, 1 Skullcracker. I'm not taking Hellbound on either. And then let's do Skeletons. Let's not do Zombies, because Zombies aren't great to do this test. I need a Lord? Fuck you, I don't need shit. I'm getting Overseer. I don't care. It's not important. Are Chariots working now? I'm literally about to test that. You can Bunny Hill Vlad now? Yeah, dude. Okay, so do we still have... They fixed that bug. Yeah, they fixed the bug where you can take... if you don't take that... oh, I already forgot what it's called. But the 150 gold buff for these things, if you didn't take it, it would still just be here in the game. They fixed that, so... Is there a balance patch? I mean, they did some balance-related stuff. Alright, both of you guys do this. And the Skullcracker did actually pretty decent damage on the charge compared to the Iron Demon, which it's like supposed to be better in melee. Yeah, and it has better melee stats than the Iron Demon, which is good. Okay, so now there's actually like a reason to take the Skullcracker, which is cool. And it's kind of fucking up these skeleton warriors. Jesus Christ, go trains go. Okay, cool. So there's a reason to take the Skullcracker now. That's fun. Let's get a flatter map. Mortis Wastes, where are you? Mortis Wastes is usually a nice testing one, if I remember correctly. Okay, so the Chaos Dwarf Chariots do some burr, which is kind of nice. Let's test... Could test Hellflayers. Why does Azazel have a stupid picture now? Why does the Kari have a stupid picture now? I like their older pictures. But I digress. So let's take the Chariots that weren't doing great. Seeker Chariots are already doing okay. Let's go with the Empire, General of the Empire. Sure, fuck you, I don't care about you. And then we'll get 3 Swordsmen. So I'm going to test it. I'm going to run my Spearmen into the enemy, and then I'm going to try to charge through them. And if that works okay, great. I will also try rear charging. If that works okay, great. And then the next thing I will do is get armored infantry with higher mass and see how these do at that. And then we'll test foot characters, and then we'll end the stream for today, because I do have to go to work. Sound good? Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. AI, really? Really? That's the formation you choose when I give you, like, 3 basic-ass infantry, you dumb fucks? Are you really gonna do this? Why are you so dumb? Why are you dumb? God damn it. I swear they weren't even this bad last patch, so somehow they made it worse. Whatever. I'll just have to test it more slowly. Bah. Bah. It's doing okay damage. Okay, those guys have already routed. Chariot still stopped dead on a Lord, which is a bit of a problem. They do okay versus those swordsmen. they still get stuck on fucking everything, which again is a bit of a problem. Now we'll try for a rear charge. It does okay damage. I'm not super impressed, but it does okay. Whee! Alright, they got kind of stuck on their own guys, which is another problem. So it looks like they still get pretty easily, like, distracted and stuck on things. Which is one of the problems with chariots in general. Like, it's like, if you just get a raw charge on an infantry that's unsupported in any way, yeah, you'll do a lot of damage. But what about, like, armored infantry? Or, like, dwarves. Dwarves are actually the best example. Okay. So I want the dwarves to be the attackers, so maybe they won't deploy like fucking dumbasses. And then let's try that again. It's the same? Yeah. It is seeming to be that way. Which would be a bummer. Because then with Grand Cathay not getting any nerfs, Grand Cathay not getting any nerfs, Harmony not getting any nerfs, anything like that, I still imagine boxes will be quite strong for several factions. That is much better, my little dwarven friends. I mean, that did pretty good. Exalted Chariot stopped fucking dead. And the Chaos Chariot stopped fucking dead. And can you even pull through a basic Dwarven front line? No. No, they can't pull through at all. But the Hellflayers are cooking. So that's kind of funny. Last patch, that would not have been the case. They didn't do jack shit. Weird. I wonder what they did to make Hellflayers kick ass, but these other chariots still suck balls. Hell, that one is still in there. And I know they're dwarves, but like, I mean, chariots are literally the counter to dwarves, so you kind of need them to go burr. Weird. Exalted Keeper Chariot sucks, though. Wee. Boop. That did okay damage for once. Again, Chariot's struggling to push through infantry. There we go. Now it got a little bit done. Hellflayer stops itself and now is charging it awkwardly. Not a lot of damage. Yeah, Chariots still look like they're wildly inconsistent about, like, you have to set everything up perfectly, and you have to do it just right, or they won't do jack shit. But, like, the Hellflayers are definitely performing better than they were last patch. Because... thing. Okay, so I have two more tests I want to run. One is a literal test I ran on... What the fuck is Kuagath's new picture? Anyway... One is a literal test, actually 3 more tests, sorry. Test I ran on the beta to see if foot characters were working. And it was Nakai versus Marcus Wolfhart, and Nakai hit like every single time. So let's see if that is the case, or foot characters are still fucked up. After that, I want to try Scarbrand versus Gotrek and Felix, and see how that goes. And then the final thing would be Astrogoth versus Kuagath Plaguefather. I want to see if Kuagath's model's still fucked up. Because Kuagath, like, every single time you could get Astrogoth to fight Kuagath, and he would hit, like, 3 or 4 attacks on the charge, and then after that he would just, like, wouldn't hit again. And it definitely was, like, a melee model issue, not, like, a melee attack versus melee defense, because he actually has better melee attack than Kuagath has melee defense. Hit. Misses 2, misses again, hits, misses, hits, misses, hits, hits. Right. He did okay. But the knockdown, yeah. So they didn't fix foot characters. Because like that, a rear charge attack from Nakai should hit every single time. And he just knocked him over but didn't deal any damage. And in the beta, he would do damage every time. Like, now it's just sometimes. But otherwise he keeps knocking Marcus over and just walking around him like a fucking dumbass. Getting some decent hits in though, so good for you, Nakai. I still think the foot character is going to be annoying to deal with. Check if Malekith Dragon truly is 2,850, because that's wild. I mean, it seems like it is. Malice is still going to be fucking boasted. Alright, so Malekith on his dragon with the normal kit that you would take with him is 3,200. That bitch is dead as hell. He is not in the meta anymore. He is dead as fuck. See if Gotrek's healing is fixed. Well, if the Scarbrand test goes well, then yeah, we will see for sure. Scarbrand's new picture. Why do all the new pictures suck? Am I the only one that thinks this? Oh, I also wonder if the infinite rampage bug is fixed. So many things to check. I can honestly check Gotrek and Felix from here. Yeah, I'll have to check if Infinite Rampage is fixed or not. Because that's been really plaguing ogres specifically, but other factions too. Alright, Marcus Wolfheart's out there somewhere shooting at me. No, don't hurt me, little guy. Boop. 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 Yeah, Scarbrand's hitting pretty consistently. That's nice. And he misses Felix because he knocked him over. Because 85 melee attack versus Felix 55. Probably should hit him. Okay. So, he's rampaging. I can't tell him to stop. I kind of don't want him to kill Gotrek. Alright, he killed Gotrek. He just fucking killed him. I don't know. This is feeling pretty responsive, honestly. Yeah, and he didn't walk over Felix like a fucking dumbass. He like stopped and waited for him to stand up. Okay. Maybe there's hope. Boop. Scarbrand kind of stood around like a dumb fuck for a second there, and then he knocked him down. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it. It doesn't seem like a consistent thing. Bat! That you like hit every time or whatever, or that like knockdowns won't save him. It's still beneficial as a foot character to get knocked down right now. But yeah, things are going well for Scarbrand. Okay. So we wanted to see Gotrek's healing, so I'll leave that. But we wanted to see the Ogre Kingdom's infinite rampage bug. I don't know how to test that well with Gotrek here. But we will manage. I mean, he kicked Felix's ass pretty good, too. Alright, what do I want for you? Brain Gobbler? Yes. Because I want to route those guys. And then to deal with Gotrek for a while, we'll just get a fuck ton of man-eaters. Is Nakari's charge fixed? The patch notes said it was. I don't even know what was wrong with it, so I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Again, you deploy like cucks. I dislike you. Okay. So ideally how to test this is to get a Sabertusk to Rampage and then use Brain Gobbler on the Spearman that it's fighting to route it, and then it'll Rampage after him, and we can see if it lasts forever. That's usually the best way to go about this. I do have Man-Eaters just for the late game to deal with Gotrek. because I do want to see if his healing works. Which, honestly, is that a buff that we want? Do we really want Gotrek's healing to actually work? Just a quick question for everybody involved. So this guy's rampaging. The spears aren't low enough yet to give them Brain Goblet, so I'm just going to heal the Sabertusk so that they don't rout. Because we can also just see if they stop rampaging, then it's fine. Oh, I'm juking. Oh, I'm juking. Alright, they're all still rampaging. Yeah, that one stopped. Eh, so at least it's not like all of them are permanent. This one's still going. I'm trying to keep him in the fight for now. With a little help from our lord friend. Okay, man-eaters, go fuck up these guys. Yeah, I mean, the Sabertusks have so far stopped rampaging every so often. That's promising. So maybe they fixed it. One test is hardly conclusive, but all of my Sabertusks rampaged, and 3 of them came back. One of them routed before the rampage ended, so it's hard to tell. The reason I chucked man-eaters in is because now I want to get rid of these spearmen so I can just test the Gotrek thing. Because if I can trigger army losses, then Gotrek will be left alone. Some stuff is shattering. You're all gonna go fight Gotrek, and then you guys are gonna kill that guy. Okay, Spearman running away. Doesn't really matter, but I will chase them as we continue to try and kill Marcus Wolfheart, who is still proving to be the tankiest bitch that ever existed, because he's knocked down constantly, which shouldn't be a benefit, but it is. He hasn't shattered yet, which means army losses hasn't procced, which is kind of silly. Alright, there we go. On to fighting just Gatrum. So I just want to see if his heal works. I'm just damaging him with units that aren't a big single entity like Scarbrand that one-shot him through his heal cap. Fuck. So how low do you have to be, my friend? Less than 10% HP. So 10% is 590. Okay. So if he gets hit like one more time, it should proc. Oh, for God's sake. It procced. That is the most pathetic fucking heal I have ever seen. That is so garbage. I mean, it worked. But did it? But is that the... Oh my god, that is a pathetic fucking heal. I think that's hilarious. Like, that's fine, balance-wise. It's just very funny. Okay, there was one more thing I wanted to try. What was it? I literally just talked about it. Infinite Rampage, Scarbrand. Okay, yeah, we tried all those things. Someone wanted to ask about Grail Guardians? I don't know. What do you want me to test about them? Ian. Like, Grail Guardians what? Just like the concept of Grail Guardians, or what are we doing? Grail Knights, Grail Guardians, and then I'll go with, I guess, ooh, kind of, I want to check out Buff Lewin. Buff Boy Lewin. That could be fun. Versus, let's grab something demonic. Hummus, please test if Grail Guardians are in fact a unit. I guess I can do that. What do we know about Chariots? It feels like Chariots are performing the same as last patch in general. Oh, actually, I also wanted to check out Cavalry charges. Kind of wanted to do that. Fate of Boring versus New Grail Knights. That's another good test. All right, all right, all right. Fate of Buna and charges. Then I'm done. Okay, so we'll do this test, then Fate of Buna, then charges in general, and then I gotta go to work at some point. You guys, come on. Come on now. All right, so Grail Knights, go deal with that. I do just want to see how Grail Guardians do against armored stuff, and then Lewin, Fly Swift. I need Lewin to get ahead so the Bloodthirster charges Lewin, not my Grail Knights. There we go. Grail Knights! Lewin. Buffs. Alright, Grail Knights are performing better against the Skull Crushers than Grail Guardians, which is what you want with this, you know, the Grail Knights have bonus versus large and the Grail Guardians don't, so you would want them to perform better. So that's cool. At least the Grail Knights actually have a purpose again. The Grail Knights are kind of fucking up Skull Crushers. And Lewin's performing okay versus an Exalted Bloodthirster. Now, I didn't give the Bloodthirster his, like, ability buffs, and I gave Lewin his. We'll see how it goes after it wears off, but, like, at least it feels like he's dueling a little bit better. Earlier, he would just kind of wet noodle fight against any large threat, and it was a bad time to be alive. But yeah. Okay, that's kind of cool. The Grail Guardians fucked up those Chaos Warriors. Fuck them up, Grail Knights. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Enabled if leadership is higher than broken. Okay, so when these guys break, they don't get their Blessing of the Lady anymore. And even without his buffs, Lewin's doing okay. Yeah. That's positive. Can we see the Kislev ROR? Yes, after the cavalry stuff. Actually, I could do the Kislev ROR with the cavalry stuff because I can use Kislev Cav to charge. But while I have the Bretonnians here, I do want to check out Fate of Bahuna. You know what? I was honestly going to let the AI have Fate of Buna, but I swear to God, those fucking idiots would Fate of Buna Lewin. Okay, Archmage, Death, all of her stuff, don't give a shit. Mage, 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 mage. Make sure they all have all of their stuff. Check. And then we will give the AI Bretonnia. Give them a Lord that I don't care about. And Grail Guardians. Done. Yeah. Lewin won, but he had all of his buffs, and I didn't give the Bloodthirster his buffs. So it wasn't, like, completely fair. I just wanted to see if Lewin still got his shit rocked, but he didn't, so that's nice. Did they change Fate of Buna? No. They did not. Alright, pop all those. You guys pop all these. And now my Winds of Magic is popping like a motherfucker. Charge! Charge! And die! Leave me alone, I'm so sorry. So that was a Fate of Buna. They still have over half HP. Now, this won't help any other cavalry in the game besides Bretonnian cavalry, but Bretonnian cavalry is not going to get Fate of Balanced away. So that's good. Kislev, and then someone said something that triggered a memory for me. Oh, I was supposed to test Kuagath, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay, I don't want to forget that again, so I'm going to do that test really fast, because it's just to check if his model is, like, working at all. For the test, I had these things. Then we have Kuagath, Plague Fada, butt naked. Yeah. So Bret's gonna skyrocket in the meta. They're gonna do really cool, really good things. Might be fucking busted. We'll find out the hard way. Alright. Still a bit sad they want to favor regular knights over their flying knights. Fair. Okay, so Kuagath has 60 melee defense once you're in melee with him for a little bit. Astragoth has 60, but he'll get 55 when he's in Kuagath's aura. So he misses. I think he hit that one. Yeah, he hit. He hit once. Missed. 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 Because, like, it's just not mathematically likely that he would miss, like, every shot. And the bug was, like, that he would miss literally every shot. Like, here he's getting a couple hits in, so yeah. It's looking pretty good. So they might have fixed that under the radar. Or did they? Okay, they might not have. Okay, they might not have. There, okay. Yeah, it maybe fixed it. Maybe, it's hard to tell. Because he's getting occasional hits in, which is good. Like, the bug I'm talking about is, like, he literally would not get hits in for minutes. Though, it doesn't feel like it's working completely correctly. Because a 55 melee attack versus 64 melee defense, like, he should be hitting more than this, right? And it looks like only his flame breath attack keeps hitting. Because his stomps aren't hitting at all. Okay, I'm officially going to go on the record and say it's still bugged. Did they finally nerf Chaos Dwarves? Yeah. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. It feels like he should have been able to hit more than that, so I'm sus of Kuagath's model. I don't have proof, but it's sus. No, he should not. It's like 1 in 5. Okay, but he should hit more than he was. Rat's still mad about Thoric? Yeah, Thoric's busted. Okay, what are we doing? Kislev, that's right. Last thing for the day. Kislev. Let's do Warriors of Chaos. They're a pretty decent test faction to go with. Because I want to test... I don't care what you have. Leave me alone. I want to test Griffin Legion, charging some stuff, and then some people wanted to see the Watchmen of the Night. The Watchmen in the Night. The Night Watch from Game of Thrones? Is that the reference? And then I'll just get some basic Kossars so you have a comparison. Let's get some Marauders and some Chaos Warriors. You think they took too many models from the Grail Guardians? Yeah, probably. Because with less models, you have like half your damage cut out just by like attack speed, right? Okie dokie. Are they faster or something? No, but why are they ahead? I don't know. Whatever. Not the point. Alrighty, let's see charges. Those are both Chaos Warriors. Where are the Marauders? The Marauders are over here. Okay, so we'll get two different comparisons. You guys walk for a second while I watch this one. Alright, run so I can get over there. I mean, that charge felt pretty decently impactful. I mean, they're heavily armored infantry and I don't have armor piercing. And I smoked those Marauders. Okay, but that's the ideal case. That's the ideal case, is when something is running into you, it usually works correctly. The problem we've been having is when infantry's standing still and cavalry charges into them and does, like, negative damage. Alright, so you guys just get away and prepare for your second charge while I watch these fucking Night's Watch just murder some kids. You just dive into them, because I don't really care. Rear charge onto Chaos Warriors. Again, they're heavily armored. I know that. Yeah, it doesn't do nearly as much damage as the frontal charge. When they were charging at me, it does a lot more damage than when I rear charge them, which is fucked up. Like, a rear charge should do way more damage. Or at least as much. You know, because someone's unbraced and a horse slams into the back of their fucking head. That makes me sad. So, like, heavy cav charges against armored targets still isn't going to do very well. Versus light targets, what are these? Are these marauders? Oh, nice. Now I can test that. Okay. So, unmoving, lightly armored targets. Because the frontal charge versus armored targets did okay. The frontal charge versus lightly armored targets did well. And yeah, that side charge, like, it did okay damage, but most of the damage came in their melee stats after. The actual impact was rather muted. So, it still feels like impact damage on shock cavalry is rather low. Which is a shame. Grail Guardians, yeah, their models are much tankier, so like Fatabuna and stuff does less damage to them, but they will do less damage to you in turn without all their models. They are. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted to test for now. I have to go to work! Oh, Blue Fire is unnerfed, Kairos still has regrowth, Healing is unnerfed. Across the board, Soul Stealer is unnerfed. Fatabuna and Spirit Leech are unnerfed. So, I think the meta is going to be similar. They did do some good nerfs to Chaos Dwarves and Dark Elves. So here's the TLDR. Malekith got nerfed into the dirt. Chaos Dwarves got nerfed, and I, based off just the patch notes with no gameplay tests, I think Chaos Dwarves are probably over-nerfed and either in the C tier. Yeah, probably C tier. I wouldn't put them in D. But Chaos Dwarves got gutted pretty hard. We'll see if their single-entity Chariot buffs are enough to make up for that. And Bretonnia got some buffs. But that's about it. Every other faction was left mostly to their own devices. Like, I can't think of any other meta-shifting changes. Hazel agrees. So, alright. Decent patch. Not like an amazing patch, but decent. So, that's my thought on it. Goodbye, everybody.